Welcome to my presentation. Today I am going to present on the topic perception and perceptual process. So what is perception? Perception is an important determinant of individual behavior. It is a cognitive and psychological process. How we perceive the people and objects around us affect our communication. According to Stephen Robbins, it is an active psychological process by which an individual organize and interpret their sensory impression in order to give meaningful to their environment. सिम्पली वेमा बुझ्दा पर्सेप्सन भनेको चाहिँ एउटा कग्निटिभ र साइकोलोजिकल प्रोसेस हो जहाँ चाहिँ हाम्रो इन्भाइरोमेन्टमा हाम्रो 5 सेन्सरी अर्ग्यानले हेरेर सुनेर फिल गरेर टेस्ट गरेपछि नर्भस सिस्टममा पुगेपछि अर्गनाइज गरेर इन्टरप्रेट गरेर एउटा मिनिङफुल इन्भाइरोमेन्ट वा अब्जेक्ट निकाल्नुलाई चाहिँ पर्सेप्सन भनिन्छ. Next, I have got here one figure. The two men are standing on opposite direction, and the one standing on the left hand side person is saying it is 6, but the another is standing on the right hand side person is saying it is 9. It means perception differ person to person. जस्तै एउटा मान्छेको पर्सेप्सन अथवा भ्यू एउटा हुन्छ भने अरू मान्छेको पर्सेप्सन चाहिँ अर्कै हुन्छ. Same like here also another figure, one person is saying it is 4 and another people is saying no it is 3. Here also perception matter. पर्सेप्सन चाहिँ एउटै सबै मान्छेमा एउटै हुँदैन, फरक हुन्छ मान्छेहरुको थिंकिङ थट्स चाहिँ. नेक्स्ट perceptual process. First one is exposure, secondly selective attention, and thirdly perceptual organization, fourthly we have perceptual interpretation, and lastly response. Okay, now exposure. Exposure is the first step of perceptual process. Exposure occurs when a stimulus comes within range of someone's sensory receptor. We can concentrate, ignore, or completely miss stimuli. Perception occurs when individuals come into contact with environmental stimuli, either accidentally or through their own deliberated goal-directed behavior. When a consumer's senses like sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch are activated by a stimulus, exposure is said to have occurred. यसमा चाहिँ बुझ्दाखेरि यो स्टेपमा चाहिँ हाम्रो सेन्सरी अर्ग्यानहरु चाहिँ एक्टिभेट भइरहेको हुन्छ. Likewise, next step is attention. It is not possible for an individual to give attention to a large volume of information, and thus he or she just goes for selective attention or selective perception. यसमा चाहिँ अब इन्डिभिजुअलले सबै इन्फर्मेसन लिनु गाह्रो हुन्छ, सक्दैन नि त. अनि त्यहाँदेखि त्यसैले अनि उसले चाहिँ पहिला सिलेक्ट गरेपछि अनि उसलाई सजिलो हुन्छ. अनि this process is also called filtering information that depend on several external and internal factor. External factor मा चाहिँ साइज हुन्छ, इन्टेन्सिटी, मोसन, रिपिटिसन, फ्यामिलिटी हरू हुन्छ भने internal factor मा चाहिँ पर्सनालिटी, एटिट्युड एन्ड लर्निङ. Likewise, next is perceptual organization. It is the third step. People see everything as a whole. People do not experience all the stimuli selected by them. They rather organize this stimuli into groups and perceives them as a unified whole. The method of perceptual organization enables individuals to view life in simplified manner. There are three basic principles used in perceptual organization. Perceptual organization में चाहिँ तीनटा प्रिन्सिपलमा युज गर्छ जस्तै एउटा ग्रुपिङ भयो, अर्को क्लोजर अनि अर्को कन्टेक्स्टमा चाहिँ figure and ground is a type of perceptual grouping which is vital necessity for recognizing object through vision. In Gestalt psychology, it is known as identifying a figure from the background. जस्तै अर्को छ grouping. Human naturally perceives objects as organized pattern and objects. Gestalt psychologists argued that this principle exists because the mind has an innate disposition to perceive pattern in the stimulus based on certain rule. These principles are organized in six categories like proximity, similarity, closure, good continuation, common fate, and good form. Likewise, another principle is closure. Another principle is closure. Law of closure. Objects grouped together are seen as a whole. We tend to ignore gap and complete contour line. In the image above, there are no rectangles or circles, but our mind fill in the missing information to create familiar shape and image. Closure भनेको चाहिँ जहाँ पनि हाम्रो इन्कम्प्लिट ग्यापहरू छ भने चाहिँ उसले चाहिँ यसमा चाहिँ कम्प्लिट गर्छ. यसमा चाहिँ कम्प्लिट इन्फर्मेसनहरू इन्कम्प्लिट इन्फर्मेसन छ भने उसले फिल ग्यापतिर फिल गरेर कम्प्लिट गर्छ अनि मिनिङफुल इन्फर्मेसन बनाउनको लागि. Next step is perceptual interpretation. The perceiver attempts to interpret the information in order to give it a certain meaning. Perception is a personal phenomena. People have the tendency to interpret the meaning of what they have selectively perceived and organized on the basis of their own assumption about the stimuli. This interpretation of the stimuli will be depend on what individual expect to see in the light of his previous experience, intuition, data received, motives, and interest at the time of perception. Thus, after consumer have select and organized stimuli, they interpret them. Perceptual interpretation मा चाहिँ इन्डिभिजुअल सुरुमा सेलेक्ट गरेर अनि अर्गनाइज गरेपछि चाहिँ उनीहरू इन्टरप्रेट गर्छ. जस्तै इन्टरप्रिटेसन पनि धेरै किसिमको रहेछ. जस्तै यहाँ छ स्टेरियोटाइप्स छ, फिजिकल एपियरेन्स छ, डिस्क्रिप्टिभ टर्म्स छ, फर्स्ट इम्प्रेसन अनि लास्ट हेलो इफेक्ट. Stereotypes मा चाहिँ people carrying best picture in their mind of meaning of various stimuli. People hold meaning related to stimuli. Stereotypes influence how stimuli are perceived. Based in united color of Benetton. अर्को टाइप्स चाहिँ के छ भने फिजिकल एपियरेन्स. People associate quality with people in the ads. Attractive model have positive influence. Likewise, color of juice, shape of the package. Average men are not considered as businessmen. And the third types of perceptual interpretation is descriptive terms. Essential high performance delivered KFC spicy chicken. Next is first impression. First impression is last longing. The perceptor is trying to determine which stimuli are relevant, important, or predictive. And last type of perceptual interpretation is halo effect. Consumer perceive and evaluate product or service or even product line based on just one dimension. Important with spokesperson choice. Temporarily, the halo effect is determined to the organization. पर्फेक्चुअल प्रोसेस चाहिँ सर्ट फर्ममा बुझ्दाखेरि चाहिँ सुरुमा चाहिँ अब्जेक्ट्स आर प्रेजेन्ट इन द वर्ल्ड. अ पर्सन अब्जर्भ्स. द पर्सन युज perception to select object. The person organize the perception of object. The person interpret the perception. The person respond. सिम्पल तरिकाले पर्सेप्चुअल प्रोसेस बुझ्दाखेरि सुरुमा चाहिँ इन्भाइरोमेन्ट हुन्छ, इन्भाइरोमेन्ट अथवा केही अब्जेक्ट हुन्छ, त्यहाँदेखि चाहिँ पर्सनले अब्जर्भ गर्छ. अब्जर्भ गरेपछि सेलेक्ट गर्छ. अनि सेलेक्ट गरेपछि उनीहरूले अर्गनाइज गर्छ, इन्टरप्रेट गर्छ, अनि त्यहाँदेखि चाहिँ उनीहरूले रेस्पोन्ड गर्छ. रेस्पोन्डमा चाहिँ अब राम्रो नराम्रो के हुन्छ त्यो उनीहरूले रेस्पोन्ड गर्छ. यहाँ चाहिँ बुझ्नुको लागि यो एउटा डायग्राम फिगर छ. त्यहाँ चाहिँ सुरुमा हाम्रो 5वटा सेन्सरी रिसेप्टर हुन्छ, जस्तै आई, इयर, नोज, माउथ, स्किन भयो. उनीहरूको काम चाहिँ के हुन्छ, आइजको जस्तै साइड भयो, इयरको साउन्ड, स्मेल, टेस्ट, स्किनको टेक्सचर. उनीहरू चाहिँ अब त्यो 5 सेन्सरी अर्गनको हेल्पबाट उनीहरूले फर्स्टमा एक्सपोज गरेपछि त्यहाँदेखि एटेन्सन सेलेक्ट गर्छ. त्यहाँदेखि सेलेक्ट गरेपछि उनीहरू इन्टरप्रिटेसन गर्छ. अनि इन्टरप्रिटेसन गरेपछि उनीहरू रेस्पोन्स राम्रो नराम्रो के हुन्छ. थ्याङ्क यू.